Okay, back for another episode of Trevor's Lockdown Quiz. Big shout out to Davey and Lisburn, and a couple of new ones coming in from the Golden Girls from the hospice down the Shankill, facing West Kirk. Big hello to them. And because they've joined them, we've put an extra bit of music on this week so a lot of people like some music questions, so we've got a few more extra music. I'm going to start off with round one. Which comedian had the biggest selling single of 1965? Which comedian had the biggest selling single of 1965? When you get to the end of this round, just pause it and then write your answers down and play it again, and then I'll give you the answers. Okay, number two. This is one of the tough ones around. Who had a hit in 1968 with Hickory Holler's Tramp? You all know who the song, but who sang it? The Hickory Holler's Tramp. Who was the singer of the original in 1968? Okay, number three. What song begins with the lyrics, "They asked me how I knew"? Which song begins with the lyrics, "They asked me how I knew"? Number four. Who was the backing group of Billy J. Kramer? Okay, who was Billy J. Kramer's backing group? And number five, sorry. Which 60s group comprised of ex-RAF members and their biggest hit was It's Good News Week? Which 60s group comprised of ex-RAF members and their biggest hit was It's Good News Week? Number six. Which 60s singer was known for his splitting trousers? Which 60s singer was known for his splitting trousers? Here's the toughest one all around, I think, this one. Didn't know this myself, what was interesting. Number seven, the Ivy League. They had a few 60s hits, like Tossing and Turning and Funny How Love Can Be. But they formed into another group for a while and had a number 4 hit in August of 67. The Ivy League sort of formed into another group and had a big hit in 1967. It got the number 4. What was the name of the group? Or the song. If you get Eller, you'll get the point. And the last one of this round. What was the biggest selling single of the 70s? What was the biggest selling single of the 70s? Okay, pause it. Give you the answers here in 5 seconds. Then you play it again and get your answers and write them down. Average score seems to be about, the good score, sorry, seems about 25 to 27, which is very good. If you had over 30, you're flying. Okay, here's the answers coming out for this round. Which comedian had the biggest selling single of 1965? It was Ken Dodd with Tears. Ken Dodd and Tears. Who had a hit in the 1968 with Hickory Holler's Tramp? It was O.C. Smith. And which song begins with the lyrics, "They asked me how I knew"? It was Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. It was the Plotters on Brand Ferry did it too. There's a few people done it, but they're the big ones that done it. Right. What was the backing group of Billy J. Kramer? It was Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas. Billy J. Kramer and the Dakotas. Number 5. Which 60s group comprised of ex-RAF members and their biggest hit was It's Good News Week? It was Hedgehoppers Anonymous. Hedgehoppers Anonymous. Which 60s singer was known for his splitting trousers? It was PJ Proby. PJ Proby. The Ivy League had a few 60s hits like Tossing and Turning, Funny How Love Can Be, but they formed into another group for a while and had a number 4 hit in August of 67, and that group was the Flower Pot Men with Let's Go to San Francisco. And what was the best-selling single of the 70s? It was Mull of Kintyre. Okay, write their scores down, and we're going to move on to round 2. Number 1, in Raising Damp, what was Rigsby's first name? In Raising Damp, what was Rigsby's first name? And number 2, in the TV series Man About the House, who was the main male character? What the actor's name? Who was the main male character in Man About the House? Number 3, what was the follow-up to Roald Dahl's book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? What was the follow-up to Roald Dahl's book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? And number 4, who wrote the Goosebump books? Who wrote the Goosebump books? And number 5, in the Knight Rider series, the car was called KITT, but what did KITT stand for? K-I-T-T. What did it stand for? And number 6, who wrote the Inspector Rebus books? Who wrote the Inspector Rebus books? And number 7, Norway geography one here. What is the only country in the world to have a Bible on its flag? What's the only country in the world to have a Bible on its flag? Okay, I'm back to the books here for number 8, the last one all around. English crime writer James Dover Grant publishes his books under his pen name. How's he better known? What's his real name? Or what's his pen name? Sorry, what's his pen name? English crime writer George Dover Grant. He publishes books under his pen name. What's his pen name? How's he better known? Okay, pause him. Pause. Give your answers here in 5 seconds. So give it a pause. Turn it back on again for the answers. In Rising Damp, what was Rigsby's first name? It was Rupert. In the TV series Man About the House, who was the main male character? It was Richard O'Sullivan. What was a follow-up to Roald Dahl's book, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? It was Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Number 4, who wrote the Goosebumps books? Goosebump. It was R.L. Stine. A Knight Rider series, the car called KITT. What did KITT stand for? K-I-T-T. It was Knight Industries 2000. Knight Industries 2000. Number 6, who wrote the Inspector Rebus crime books? It was Ian Rankin. Ian Rankin. Number 7, what is the only country in the world to have a Bible on its flag? It's the Dominican Republic. Number 8, English crime writer James Dover Grant publishes his books under his pen name. How's he better known? He's known as Lee Child. Lee Child. Okay, count your scores up. Pause it. You go back, and if you want to go over a couple, and pause it now, and I'll give you the answers. Or sorry, I'll give you the round 3. This could be a wee bit, doesn't sound as tricky as it sounds at the start. I call it the Shakespeare music round. I've made this one up. The Shakespeare music round. All the answers have something to do with Shakespeare. It's not as hard as it sounds. Okay. So number 1, what was Mr. Big's big hit in 1977? What was Mr. Big's big hit in 1977? Good wee song, Mr. Big. Number 2, 8 weeks at number 1 in 1992. Who had a hit with Stay? Had 8 weeks at number 1 in 1992. Who had a hit with Stay? Don't forget, they're all related to Shakespeare. Number 3, released in 1981. What was a Shakespeare-themed song from Dire Straits? Released in 1981. What was a Shakespeare-themed song from Dire Straits? And number 4, a big hit in 79. The lyrics included Tony and Cleo struck out for the free down Egypt's way. Okay, big hit in the 70s. 79. The lyrics included Tony and Cleo struck out for the free down Egypt's way. What was the song called? And you can even tell me who sang it. But you only get a point for L or just L or R. You still get the point. No double points there. Okay, the Sutherland Brothers and Quivers big hit of 1976. What was the Sutherland Brothers and Quivers big hit of 1976? Number 6, Johann Sebastian Bach composed music called Air on a G-String, but what did it advertise on TV? What did Air on a G-String advertise on TV? Number 7, which group had a hit with Henry VIII? Which group had a hit with Henry VIII? I think you're going back to the 60s. Who had a hit with I'm Henry VIII? Henry VIII, you call it. Okay, reached number 2 in December of '82. Which Christmas hit was sung by David Essex? It reached number 2 in December of '82, but which Christmas hit was sung by David Essex? Okay, pause it and we'll give you the answers. Okay, what was Mr. Big's big hit of 1977? It was Romeo. Get back inside me, Romeo, she said. It was a good wee song. Romeo. 8 weeks at number 1 in 1992. Who had a hit with Stay? It was Shakespeare's Sister. Released in 1981, what was the Shakespeare theme song from Dire Straits? It was Romeo and Juliet. And a big hit in '79, the lyrics included Tony and Cleo struck out for the free down Egypt's way. Name the song, it was Bang Bang by B.A. Robertson and Tony and Cleo, Anthony and Cleopatra. Right, that was the theme in that one. The Sutherland Brothers and Quivers big hit of 1976. It was The Arms of Mary. Shakespeare's mother was called Mary Arden. Mary Arden, that was a link there. Mary, Arms of Mary. Okay, number 6. Johann Sebastian Bach composed music called Air on a G-String, but what did it advertise on TV? It advertised Hamlet cigars. Hamlet cigars. Air on a G-String, that's called. Okay, number 7. Which group had a hit with I'm Henry VIII? It was Herman's Hermits. Reached number 2 in December '82. Which Christmas hit was sung by David Essex? Winter's Tale. A Winter's Tale. That's one of the Shakespeare plays. The Winter's Tale. Okay, add your scores up, give it a pause, and we're going to move on to round 4. And it's going to be a bit of a geography round. Okay, number 1. What US city is called the City of Brotherly Love? Which US city is called the City of Brotherly Love? Number 2. Angel Falls is the highest waterfall in the world, but what country is it in? Angel Falls, which country is it in? And number 3. What is the state capital of Louisiana? What is the state capital of Louisiana? Okay, you have a choice about 5 or 6 answers here. I'm only looking for one, so if you give me one answer, you give yourself a point. Apart from JFK Airport and Ronald Reagan Airport, what other airport named after a US president? Name me another airport named after a US president. Okay, apart from JFK and Ronald Reagan Airport, there's about another 6 or 7 named after presidents, so give me one for a point. Number 5, which city is known as the Big Easy? Which city is known as the Big Easy? Okay, here's one of them LR questions. New Zealand, is Wellington in North or South Island? Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, but is it North Island or South Island? And number 7, what is the most populated country in Africa? And number 8, what is the currency of Sweden? What is the currency of Sweden? Okay, write them all down and pause it here for about 5 seconds. Do I give you all the answers, and then you can play it back and mark your scores up, and then we'll go on to the last round. See if you can get around 25 or 27. It seems to be the top scores every week now, 25 to 27. Okay, what US city is called the City of Brotherly Love? The nickname, Philadelphia. It's Philadelphia. Number 2, Angel Falls is the highest waterfall in the world, but what country is Angel Falls in? It's in Venezuela. Number 3, what's the state capital of Louisiana? It's Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge. And number 4, apart from JFK Airport and Ronald Reagan Airport, name me another airport that's named after a president. Well, you can have a choice of Gerald Ford, George Bush, Abraham Lincoln, Eisenhower, Bill Clinton, Theodore Roosevelt, and there's also a small aviation airport named after Jimmy Carter. So if you said any one of them, give yourselves a point. Number 5, which city is known as a Big Easy? New Orleans. New Orleans is the Big Easy. Right, number 6, New Zealand. Is Wellington in the North or South Island? It's in North Island. The capital is in North Island. Okay, 7, what is the most populated country in Africa? It's Nigeria, with around 219 million. It's 7th on the biggest country in the world for population. It's ranked 7 for population wise. Right, number 8, what is the currency of Sweden? It's a Swedish krona. So if you get the krona, you give yourselves a point. Add up your scores and we'll go on to the last round. It's a wee bit of a mixture here. Let's see any music in there. Yes, there's a couple of wee music ones. One anyway. Couple. Number 1, which word can be a girl's name, a boot, or a football team? Which word can be a girl's name, a boot, or a football team? Number 2, what is the only vowel that doesn't start the names of the US states? Like there's 50 states and they all begin with different letters, but there's one state that doesn't start with a vowel. Just one vowel that's not used in the starting name of a state. There's plenty of other ones, but there's one vowel that's not used as the starting name of a state. Okay. Number 3, which 70s punk band was Rat Scabies the drummer with? Which 70s punk band was Rat Scabies the drummer with? And number 4, who was the last wife of Henry VIII? Who was the last wife of Henry VIII? And number 5, what is the main ingredient in a Glamorgan sausage? What is the main ingredient in a Glamorgan sausage? Number 6, which TV series featured the Blue Moon Detective Agency? Which TV series featured the Blue Moon Detective Agency? Right, number 7. Who started off his career by winning opportunity knocks by singing Mother of Mine? Who started off his career by winning opportunity knocks by singing Mother of Mine? Here's one I didn't know. I caught this here. I was looking through and I seen this one on the laptop the other day. Barclays Bank put the first cash machine into the UK in June of 1967, and they got a celebrity to advertise it on TV. So which celebrity was filmed making the first cash withdrawal in the UK? Which celebrity was filmed making the first cash withdrawal in the UK? This was by Barclays Bank in June of 1967. The first ATM was introduced in the UK. So which celebrity made the first withdrawal? You've probably seen it if anybody remembers that back. I can't remember it myself, but if some of you might remember, you all know who he is. So who was he? Pause it, give me 5 seconds and I'll give you the answers and add up your scores and see if you can get around the 25 mark. There's a couple of wee tough ones in each round, but hope you've done well. Okay, I'm going to give you the answers. Question 1, which word can be a girl's name, a boot, or a football team? It's Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea FC, Chelsea boot, and a girl's name. What is the only vowel that doesn't start in the names of the US states? We've got Alaska for A and all. There's that. Iowa, A, Utah, U, Oklahoma and all that. There's who that is. But there's none that start with E. So I was looking E. There's no state that starts with an E. Number 3, which 70s punk band was Rat Scabies the drummer with? He was the drummer with The Damned. He was a drummer with The Damned. Number 4, who was the last wife of Henry VIII? It was Catherine Parr. Number 4, what is the main ingredient in a Glamorgan sausage? Maybe people had put lamb or something down, but it was cheese. The main ingredient of a Glamorgan sausage is Caerphilly cheese with a bit of leek and some breadcrumbs in it. So that's your Glamorgan sausage. It's Caerphilly cheese is the main ingredient. Number 6, which TV series featured the Blue Moon Detective Agency? That was Moonlighting, Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis. Moonlighting. Number 7, who started off his career by winning Opportunity Knocks by singing Muller of Mine? It was Neil Reid. Neil Reid, Muller of Mine. You've done well with that one. Neil Reid. Right, Barclays Bank put the first cash machine into the UK in June of '67. Which celebrity was filmed making the first cash withdrawal in the UK from Barclays Bank ATM in June of 1967? It was Reg Varney of On the Buses. Reg Varney. Okay, folks, so add up your scores and see what if you can get around at 25. Okay, I hope you like that, and I'll catch you again. Thank you for playing and joining.